what are the things we are going to cover in conditional formatting? We'll learn how to highlight cell rules. We'll see how to clear rules. We'll see how to use top and bottom rules. We'll see data bars and color scales. We'll see icon set rules. We'll also see how to define new rules and also manage rules. So let's start with highlight cell rules. So let's say we select a particular we are selecting a particular column where we have the data, and then we go to conditional formatting, and in conditional formatting we have got highlight cell rules where we can have multiple functions. Let's say we want to highlight all those numbers in the selected data set which is more than 50. So I say greater than, I click on greater than, and by default some number has come there. Ignoring that, we are going to take 50 as a number. So when I say 50, and then with what you want to highlight those particular cells which has the numbers beyond 50. So by default it will be light red fill with dark red text, right? So you can change it by clicking on the drop box, right? Let's say we can have red text, or we can have, let's say, red border, right? Or we can use some custom format. For example, if we select custom format and we go to fill here, we can select a color of our choice, and that will be the color of the cell where we have this criteria that a particular cell having a number greater than 50 should be highlighted. So here we go, we see that any cell which has more than 50 as a number will get highlighted in yellow. Let's say if I change this to 49, you can see that the highlight part will be gone from that particular number. So this is one of the important functions where we can present the data by highlighting the informations. We can project the sales number, we can project the employee's performance, anything that we want to highlight with certain criteria. We can use conditional formatting highlight cell rules. So we can have some more criteria. We can have less than, we can have between, we can have equal to, we can also have text that contains. Let's say I want to highlight those let's say geography. I'm selecting this entire data sets for geography, and there I want to highlight, let's say, a particular cells where the text contains India. So by default you can see they have taken India. You can select US also, right? So you see that all the US is being highlighted. So if you change this particular cell from China to US, this should also get highlighted. So this is the usage of highlight cell rules. Now we'll be learning the next thing, that is clear rules. So we will again go to conditional formatting, and there will be something called clear rules. We'll be clicking there. Then we have clear rules from selected cells. So this, you can select cells from where you want to remove these conditional formatting rules, or you can directly clear rules from the entire sheet. Here I'll be using clear rules from entire sheet, and as you can see the entire criteria has been removed, the entire formatting has been removed. So we have learned two important functions here in conditional formatting. One is highlight cell rules and the other one is clear rules. Now let's go ahead and understand what is top and bottom rules. So we go back to conditional formatting after selecting the quantity columns, and then I go to conditional formatting. There we have top / bottom rules. There is top or bottom rules. So here we can have top 10 items, or below average or above average, or bottom 10, or top 10 percentage. Let's say we go for top 10 percentage. So these two numbers will be into top 10 percentages. If you keep on increasing these percentages, let's say I bring it to 30, 40 and 50, so this the numbers of selections will keep on increasing. So let's say from top 10% I'm changing it to top 50%. So these all cells will be highlighted for top 50% numbers. We can also see if we can put some more criterias here. Let's say top 10 items, right? So we have selected top 10 items. So these are the top 10 items because they have the highest sales in terms of quantity, and hence it is getting highlighted here. So this is when you want to select top 10%, right, or top 10 items. So you can also select top 5 items. So this will decrease from large number of cells to smaller number of cells. Top 1, which is the top 1, definitely it should be 125. That's the highest number. Hence product 13, John, India, quantity being 125 will fall under the top 1. So that's one thing. Moreover, let's see, we go back to conditional formatting, top bottom rules. We can have bottom 10 items. So as soon as we get bottom 10 items, these will be the bottom 10 items. We can also see what is above average, what all numbers are above average. So I'll be clicking on above average, and you can see exactly half of them will be above average. So those half will be visible to us, and same we can apply for below average also, right? So this is top and bottom rules in conditional formatting. Now let's understand the next one, that is data bars and color scales. So again we select the entire quantity range, we go back to conditional formatting, we go to data bars. So data bars will basically give you a kind of graphs in the table itself where the numbers are there, and on the basis of the larger the number, the higher will be the line graph, which is not vertical but it is horizontal graphs, as you can see here. So you can see 125 being the highest will have the highest graph here, and the lowest will be 29, I suppose, which are twin numbers. So here we have got 29 in row number 17, and then we have got 29 in row number 3. That's the highest, I mean that's the lowest here, and 125 is the highest. So here we can have the different data bars, and it can have different colors. And so that's the one of the important functions which we can use in conditional formatting. We can also have color scales, but this is rather complicated. Let's say if I'm using this color scale, so Excel by default gives a certain colors to the particular quantity. So for example, if you can see 29 being the lowest is red in color, and the color keeps on fading as the numbers keep on increasing. This reaches to 65 as yellow because 77 is little lighter yellow, and then slowly and steadily these colors are moving to green, and 125 being the highest is absolutely green into this given data set. So this is one of the functions that you can highlight in conditional formatting by setting the colors. So these will be known as color scales, but we generally do not use it. Reason being, it's very difficult to identify which color reveals what unless until it is predefined. But again, to make a presentations or to present this data into the perfect way or into more presentable way, we can definitely use color scales. Now let's see the icon set rules. Let's say I want to see what are the bottom more than or less than the averages. Those will be given a down arrow. What all numbers are close to average, that will be given a horizontal arrow, and the ones which are more than average will be given a vertical arrow pointing towards the upward direction. So let's see, I have selected the quantity range. I go to conditional formatting. There's something called icon sets. So when I take it to the icon sets, there are directional icon sets, and then there are shapes, and there are indicators, and many other. So let's take to the directional. So I'll clicking the directional, and let's see what directional says. So let's redo it. So icon sets, let's go to directional. So here we go. So all the numbers which are less than the average will be pointing towards the downward direction. Average or closer to average will be pointing towards the right direction, and all the numbers which are above average will be pointing towards the upward direction, as you can see here in the given data.